Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is G. Cole, and welcome to Homegrown, where I get to share with you some good music while talking to some great people. Hello world, I hope you're feeling as good as I am. I want to big up all my homegrown listeners out there and welcome all the new listeners. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so we can keep you updated when new material is available. We will be posting new episodes bi-weekly. Want to thank everyone who has been listening and sharing. Please leave us a comment, we'd love to hear from you. Please check out the website homegrownwithgcole.com to listen and for all things homegrown. The podcast is now available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all your podcast platforms. We're also very interactive. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at MyGCole. The video of this interview is available on YouTube. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. This is episode 54. This episode is brought to you courtesy of Aquagem Records' latest releases, I'll Be Around by the legendary Mr. Winston Francis, and The Cobra Man Bounce by another legend, Mr. Dwight Pinkney. Are you ready?
Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you want me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around.
Feel that groove, yo. Mr. Winston Francis. Brand new tune. It's called I'll Be Around. And oh no, lightning has struck twice. Legendary guitar player Mr. Dwight Pinkney. If you don't know, see Ken Booth, see the Gay Lads, see the Wailers, see Marcia Griffiths, Dennis Brown. This piece is called Cobra Man. Studio One legends at it again. Both songs available on Aquagem Records and VPAL Music. Available on iTunes, Spotify, all your digital retailers. Ladies and gentlemen, today's guest is a man that wears many hats in my regards, but represents one thing that I think he does very well, represents the culture. So all those hats, but it represents the culture. He's a published author, he's a selector, he's a radio broadcaster, tour manager. There's a whole bunch of other stuff, but we ain't got all that much time. An activist in his own right. The world knows him as Mr. Dutty Bookman. Brother.
Yo,
welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you for having me, brother.
The pleasure is mine. Pleasure's mine. Should have happened a long time ago, but I've been up and down, busy and rare. But I appreciate you.
Everything in perfect time,
Timing is everything. That's all.
Yeah, man.
Give thanks. Yeah. I always jump right into it because, like I said, I've been you in the culture and doing what you do. And what I'd like is that you seem to approach it from many other angles. It's not just the music, it's literature. It's being involved in a culture from a standpoint of artistry yourself, standpoint of selector, standpoint of interacting with all aspects of the culture.
Yeah.
Now, for the past couple of weeks, I've been talking to a lot of the legends because I always felt like, let's get in the heads of the legends, because if we don't know where I come from, can't know where I go.
True.
Appreciation. And then, of course, now, come February, I was like, let's talk to the other side of the music.
Yeah.
I feel like we curate, and then we have to get it out to the masses. The side that gets it out to the masses is radio and the DJs.
Yeah.
Often ignored side of the package. You know what I mean? So I know you have an intimate residence in that side of that landscape. You know what I mean? You're out there with the people in the trenches giving it to them. So I figured, who else better to sit down with and chop it up with than somebody like yourself? Getting right into it, there's an energy of mystery to you, You understand?
Yeah,
man. As we talk to people about Dutty Bookman, there's an energy of mystery. When I was putting the flyer together, I was going to title it, Who Is? Who is Dutty Bookman? I was like, I'm being too dramatic here. I must sell it, you know what I mean?
But I like it. As somebody who appreciates literature and, and do a lot of PR. Those are the things that work.
People be like, what? Who is this? I said, you know what? I think I'm overreaching here. I took it off. Brother, just like most of the musicians, like I said, I feel like to understand a man, we have to understand the beginnings. Your bio, because I was doing my research, right?
Okay.
It said that you were raised on the same street for like 7 years.
Yes.
Something like that.
Yeah, yo.
Before like venturing out, maybe that is metaphorically speaking or so forth. But let's start with those younger years a bit. Where'd you grow up and what was it like for a little Dutty Bookman coming up?
Well, I mean, as a youth, there was no Dutty Bookman yet.
Right.
You know, it was a little Gavin Hutchinson.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And literally 7 years of my life, I never leave a street. Like I grew up, I was born in Vineyard Town. The hospital is called St. Joseph's Hospital. And up the street was an apartment building. That's
Right.
where I live with my mother and my sister.
Right.
And right 2 doors down from the apartment building was my school that I first attended, St. Teresa Preparatory School.
Right.
So apart from maybe my mother take me go to the plazas in Halfway Tree, go do some shopping.
Yeah.
I never really know nowhere else in Jamaica, you know.
So you were literally on the street.
Literally, that's my entire existence. I walk across the street, go to the shop if mommy send me to the shop. I walk go school, come back home, play in the apartment building, you know what I mean, with
Right.
other children, and that was my life for 7 years, you know.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
It's amazing. I speak of that a lot, not literally, but no, it's quite literal.
Yeah.
That we tend to be in our own little existence.
Yeah.
Rich people hang out with rich people.
Yeah.
Poor people with poor people, middle class people, middle class people. It's not sometimes it's not intentional. You know, they talk about black on black crime all the time, but stats will show you the reason is that because black man, they run more black man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they don't call it white on white, but white people kill more white people than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's just your environment and where you are. But when I read that, I was intrigued because I was just like, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, I mean, you don't control where you're born and your social circle, and you make the best of life that you have, you know. So
Right.
that's what we all here to do on earth.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I
man.
love it. The name Dutty Bookman, right? A lot of people, I don't know how many people know about Dutty Bookman, the legend. The first
Yeah,
original.
yeah.
I guess they used to pronounce it Bookman based on the French, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But your spelling of your name actually is more fitting to him because that's kind of where it come from. The educated, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one of the legends out there about him. You know, he was like one of the few educated slaves of the time. You know, you're talking about the 18th century.
Yeah.
But the spelling that I use is actually the spelling that's attributed to him when he was living in Jamaica.
Right.
Before he went to Haiti.
Right.
So because I know the Jamaican context of today's neo-slavery, I like to call it, you know, the current manifestation of slave conditions on earth. I took on that spelling.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've never been to Haiti. I really want to go.
And I'm sure they would gravitate just based on, because he was a catalyst in that Haitian revolution. So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm sure there's going to be a synergy, a connection.
Yeah.
What was it about Dutty Bookman, the icon that you connected with?
Well, you know, the first thing was just the name, you know, because in school, you know, when in Jamaica we say somebody Dutty, that ended up being my nickname
Right.
for some reason.
Right.
Different personality, I guess,
Right.
at the time. And yeah, I saw his name in a very prestigious book that I couldn't believe the word Dutty was in this
Right.
book, you know. I mean, I think it was a Life magazine.
Mad.
And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then it started to educate me. So I went home and I just did a lot of research, man. I was like, who is this guy?
Right.
And the more I learned about him, the more I felt a serious connection, because I do believe, you know, I was already in revolutionary ideas and, you know, breaking out of this system and doing what I can in this time.
Right.
So the same spirit that he had, I just identified with it immediately. I was like, all right, well, I have this name already, half of the name, you know what I mean? I might as well just carry on this name.
Adopt the rest? Yeah.
The same thing like, you know, Tupac.
Yeah.
His middle name is Amaro, Tupac Amaro, right? Tupac Amaro is really the second too, you know. There's a original Tupac Amaro who is another freedom fighter from South America.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? It's
Adaptation.
important to carry these names far, because Dutty Bookman, the first, was almost lost to history. We almost didn't know about him.
Yeah.
It's oral, it's some little people just start talk about him and keep it going through the generations. So there's a chance that it will reach our ears today.
Right.
And the youths them of the future. So I want to amplify just to show, say, yo, we are great people, and, you know, even one man as simple as you take him or as you take me, we can effect great change, you know?
My virgin Jai would have said one fire stick can light 1,000. The crazy thing about it is this, you mentioned that, is like history getting lost and all them things. Is even negative history, even slavery and whatever, is commercialized to a point where only certain names are popular.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
So while we are slave, while we are fight the rebellion, but you got the popular dudes and you got the unpopular dudes.
Well, that's a thing too, because I used to live in DC before I moved down here in Florida. I used to work at a bookstore. I want to big up, if you don't mind, big up the organization, Teaching for Change. Check them out, teachingforchange.org.
Right.
They used to run this bookstore, but their mission was really a lot of the books that they carry, and their mission in general is about the civil rights history, right? And not over sensationalizing single name people, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X.
Right.
Obviously, we need to know about them.
Right.
But it was more about the mass movements and the everyday people who are a part of these movements. So
Right.
there are a lot of biographies out there that we can read about just everyday people who might walk past and never know, say, yo, these people played crucial parts in the unfoldment of US American history, right?
Wow.
You know what I mean? So
Wow.
it's the same thing, like and I think that I noticed even when you check, like, say, Bob Marley or any other, Che Guevara or whoever, freedom fighters in different fields, what I like to say Babylon like to do is put these people up high on a pedestal. When they notice they're getting powerful, they support that.
Right.
Just so they can chop off the head. Once that head is gone, everybody feels demoralized all of a sudden and your movement is dead.
Wow.
So it's important, especially now, in this time, there's no single leadership thing anymore. It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
You're absolutely correct. And again, that's a conversation we have all the time when it comes to even people being successful at what they do. We talk about the culture and we say, the first black this or whatever the case may be. We always sit back and say, is there a conspiracy behind this? You know what I'm saying?
You have to criticize everything.
Have to.
Yeah.
People have been put in positions with ulterior motive because, like you said, I'm going to put somebody up there just to show that it can happen. But I'm also putting that person up there to show you that we can also control.
Chop it down, right?
Chop it down anytime. Ladies and gentlemen, again, we have a conversation. We talk about everything. You're credited, as I look this stuff up, you're credited with coining the phrase the reggae revival, right? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, it was just a special time when, I was living in Jamaica. Post-college, I went to college up here. So after high school, college in the States, back home immediately.
Right.
And it was just the right place at the right time. I was very involved in this underground arts-based movement. One of the catalysts was an organization that a lot of us came together and formed.
Is this in DC?
No, in Jamaica.
Oh, in Jamaica. Okay.
The organization is called Manifesto Jamaica.
Okay.
It's still around now. Big up to Leslie Ann Welsh, who is the managing director, and she has been carrying it on since that time until now. We're talking about forming it in 2009, 2010.
Wow.
And
10 years strong.
we got a lot of good press, especially 2010.
Right.
It was a watershed moment, and that inspired a lot of youths to know that we can come together and be our own activists and push ourselves forward and create our own platforms. And out of that now rose up simultaneously a lot of powerful artists of today who were then unknown and trying to get a bus.
Right.
And so you're talking about your Proteges, your Janines, your Kabaka Pyramids.
Yeah.
Soon after that, another generation right on the heels with Chronics and whatever.
Yeah.
And so all of that came together,
Love it.
And so I had moved now, end of 2010 to DC. And then I put my book out in 2011.
Right.
But obviously we have the internet, so we're still connected with what's going on, and we have conversation with brethren and with sister in them, so we know what's going on the ground.
Right.
So noticing that this movement of arts, not just music, I keep stressing arts. A lot of visual arts was involved, performing arts was involved, literary arts were involved, spiritual arts were involved. A lot of people this was kind of like a lot of the yoga craze that is there today.
Yeah.
Not to say that's where it started, but it was being amplified also at this time as well.
Wow.
And then a lot of people, most of us was pre-in Rastafari in whatever shape or form, you know, some to a greater or lesser extent than others.
Right.
But all of this melded together into a movement. It was very noticeable. It was very palpable.
Right.
So when I launched my book, I said I had to launch the book because it was talking about these years that I spent in Jamaica.
Right.
I didn't want my launch event for that book in DC or anywhere else but Jamaica.
Right.
So I went home to Jamaica to launch the book.
Right.
It was very well attended, to my surprise.
This is tried and true.
Tried and true.
Right.
Yeah. And it was very well attended. You know, I was really shocked about that. You know, I expected some basic support, but we rammed the place. It was at Bookophilia. There was no more seating. People had to stand up, almost spilling out onto the street, you know.
Wow. Who said we don't read?
That's the thing. And this was the kind of movement. It's an intellectual movement as well. So we value knowledge in whatever way. You can watch YouTube videos and get the same knowledge too, you know. However, it's just the thirst for knowledge is what I really defend, you know. Yeah. So, yeah. And a lot of the ones whose names are called already too were in attendance. And so it was just really, it was a time when I felt like I wanted to make a contribution by urging everyone to let us name this movement, because by then I was already a decade into a lot of media and PR knowledge.
Right.
You know what I mean? I practice PR originally. That's my longest career base. You know what I mean? I'm a PR person.
Hope you didn't quit, because we need a lot more of that in this culture.
Yeah. And good PR is valuable, you know?
Yeah.
And so I know from studying the media, I have a lot of grosses with how media treat culture, especially culture. Right. Because they treat it as something that is not important, first of all. And then when they do focus on it, they lead it astray. You know, they mix up people about what the culture is. Right. So I urge people that night at my book launch to let us name this from within, because there are international journalists who, as soon as they catch wind of this movement, they are going to name it and they are going to control the narrative about what is said about us. Yeah. So I said, we got to name this from within.
That was brilliant.
So I suggested it. It either catch on or it don't catch on. It catch on.
It can't fire.
So then Jamaican media started to notice, because I guess it was being used a lot on the ground, so people couldn't ignore it. And then I was invited to UE to talk about it. So then it just started opening up from there. And then international media caught on, and then it was too fast for us at that point. We couldn't even regroup to say, all right, what is this really, and how are we going to control the narrative?
So it was out before you guys even convened and realized, okay, how we are going.
Yeah, and I don't think ones were really keen to convene for a myriad of reasons. One of them being, you mentioned elders. A lot of elders found it disrespectful. They took offense to the term
revival.
Yeah, who said regular dead? And so that we got caught in the cycle of that argument, and it prevented us from going beyond that and actually looking at the world and what we can do with this thing for the world, for the youths of tomorrow. You know, and so it's something I've been battling for years, man. Even internally. Yeah. After a while, I just shut my mouth. Yeah. Because I've been repeating the same things over and over. Yeah. And to no avail. And ones who are leaders of the movement, a lot of them were reluctant to talk about it because they don't want to offend people in their industry. Yeah. And then the narrative focused on music alone when it was really a cultural, arts-based movement. So we already lost that part of the battle. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I wouldn't say all is lost, because there are a lot of youths today who even talk to me personally, call me on the phone. There are university students who are doing research papers on this thing, and they find me and they ask me, you know what I mean? So the purpose really is, it's positive. Like everything in the end is positive, because
culture.
Yeah, the youths them of tomorrow are already catching on, and they realize they will then be able to, when they study the thing, they can learn from our mistakes, where we went wrong, and they can do a better job. You know what I mean? But we're farther ahead now than previous generations. Like when I was first looking for stuff,
Yeah.
I couldn't find
Not documented.
information. Yeah. So we're already on the move, you know?
I love that because I feel, and it's a conversation we have all the time to some degree, that, you know, there's a little bit of rift between now, then, the elders, the youth.
Yeah.
And I said the word youth relatively because when I first started saying this, I was the youth. I think I'll pass the
This is what I'm realizing. It just dawned on me like 2-3 years ago. I say, I always refer to myself as the youths them. Bust the youth them, man. Like me, I say, yo.
It ain't us no more.
And I say, hold on there. Actually, no, because when you even check like how the government define youth, it's up to like 30. I'm past 30 like
I'm like, yeah, am I the youth?
X years ago. You get what I'm saying?
So I'm like, so do I know? If I go knock on the door of the elders and say, yo, can a brother come in?
No, yo, it's like we in that no man's zone, cause we're not elders and we're not youth. We're just man now. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Regular old adult.
And I personally think I think it's a good place to be because it allows you to talk about both without being judged from either end. You know what I mean? We can talk about the youth because technically I'm one of them.
Yeah.
Can talk about Uno because technically I'm one of y'all. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's something that we definitely need to fix because, you know, a lot of times I feel when I talk to the young artists and people within the culture, when I say artists, it doesn't necessarily mean musical arts, but, you know, art, visual arts, whatever. You know, there's certain little resentment that they feel from the elders. Elders have a tendency to always say, yo, I'm not going to respect them, not the manners, I'm not this, I'm not that. But at the end of the day, did you give them something to respect?
Yeah.
And oftentimes people are a little bitter in the terms in that their career never go a certain way or the way how I loosely use the word system was set up. You never able to achieve certain things back then. I know a youth coming to the game and 2-3 years into his career, he's far surpassed on a commercial level what you've done. So there's a little bit of bitterness sometimes.
I understand it, you know. We're all human, you know.
Right.
Even like as I say, how, you know, I feel like we made certain mistakes and, you know, I spent a lot of time being quiet. And, you know, even now, I just saw an interview where somebody say, boy, I don't know where the term reggae revival come from. Some random media guys must have said. And like me, I said, don't write me out of the history, dog.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
and I'm still a young guy and write me out already. I'm still there.
No, it wasn't a young guy. It's a guy in our age group. You know what I mean? Who actually I'm not going to call name because I don't deal with public arguments. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like public arguments. I rather talk to the person face to face.
Right.
But without calling the person name, a very popular figure in our culture, who I have spoken to, who I have video recordings of me and them talking to their knowledge, you know, because I was interviewing them for Reggae Revival. And somehow this person goes on a program and says they don't know where. So it hurt, obviously.
Yeah, it should.
I feel bitterness.
You should.
But that's not going to translate to how I deal with the younger generation. Like there's some young youths coming up now who they're on the mission. I'm not going to stop them from doing it now. They have to. It's their time now. They have to build on it.
I love the vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're having a nice like reasoning with Mr. Dutty Bookman. We're going to talk about a lot more of it, all right? Stick and stay with us. Share the link. Keep it moving. Keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
On my complexion with that batch pan me chest. I'm black without apology, no feelings, no suppress. Africa the motherland, understand the richest continent. When me ready, me a step, me no go fear no consequence. See them a come with them weakness and the pretense in a frequency.
Check her out, ladies and gentlemen.
No weak fence, King Marks a come.
Her name's Yeza.
Black star line on the seat when we are steam left enemies. Them want me reduce my lineage to a state of misery. LK Malcolm get shot to give speech. Look what the civil rights country I preach. Man I get shot cause them off be free. And a fruit is a man where you hang from a tree. Can't move, get stopped like a gottery. Revolution spread like a margarine. Cause I'm black where the border not free. I feel pay women out if I remember seas.
Rory Stone Love Black Dub music, ladies and gentlemen. It's called Is It Because I'm Black?
Is
it because I'm black?
Go ahead and check out the music of Yeza, ladies and gentlemen. She's dope. What you say, Dutty? She bad.
Yeah, and I got to meet her the other day and just tell her I'm a rater, you know?
Yeah.
I like them little moments there, you know?
Yeah. Because sometimes we rate our artists, but we in the cut, we don't tell them. You know what I mean? Or sometimes we don't get the opportunity to.
And personally too, I'm a very reserved person, you know? So
Yeah.
I will stand up right beside somebody
Yeah.
and just don't say nothing because just some stay. Like, no disrespect or that, but, you know?
Yeah.
So, but... yeah, I did see her. Where was it now? Kabaka Pyramid show in Kingston the other day, December.
Yeah.
And yeah, I saw her backstage, and it was a good.
Energy, right?
It wasn't around in a big crowd, so that made me even, you know, but
Free up a little bit.
yeah, yo, big up yourself.
You know, it's amazing you mentioned that, you know. It's like Killer one of my favorite DJs. You know?
Yeah.
You know much time I say Killer, I say, boy, I'm gonna yell him, but I say, you know something. Just in case it's not Rad. Me go yell Rodney Price, you know, but just in case I Killer today.
You don't want bucking when him all cross.
Are hangry, are miserable, so let's leave it be.
Boy.
You know, I always try to get in the head of the people who put the music out there. Musically, who in today's day and age? 'Cause I hate asking people who inspired them musically, because I'm always, it's like there's some names that's in the closet that you just reach out and draw some Bob Marley and some, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Musically today, who inspires you?
Wow. That's really hard to answer, man.
Yeah,
Who inspired me today doing music right now?
yeah,
Well, I would definitely, because I'm closest to him, I would say Protege, because I know his work ethic. I'm very inspired by Protege's work ethic. From the time I meet him
yeah,
and I start work with him,
yeah,
and to this day, still working with him and still as a good brother, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just, if I want to up my game, I just take a moment and think about my brethren and say, all right,
Yeah.
Because him now stop work.
No, slow down.
Yeah, him now stop work.
Wow.
And then the music that he puts out, he's not afraid to push the bar, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To be seen as one of the rising Rasta man in music and not to conform to just what Rastaman expected to do. The freedom of thought.
Yeah.
Those things I respect, you know?
Yeah.
So in the same light, Janine, I like the path that she has taken. Like,
A different lane.
yeah, there's nobody else in that lane with her right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
Yeah. I really enjoy what Black Hero is doing.
Now you the bud.
Yeah, I like what
Yeah.
Black Hero is doing right now.
Tough.
And yeah, I've been trying to pay attention more to that scene now, you know?
Yeah.
So I getting to realize they have an ex-youth named Ayatash.
Never heard of him.
Oh, yeah.
Ayatash?
Ayatash.
I'll
yeah.
check him out. I'll
You
check him
know,
out.
so and then again, in terms of drive and dedication and loyalty to what they do, Five Steez is a rapper from Jamaica.
Right, heard
The
about
whole
him.
First Coast Movement, the Sickest Drama, Nomad Carlos, all those guys, they've
Yeah.
been at it for a while, you know, and like those things I like because it show that you don't just jump with fads and you don't bend what you do and what you are here to do
Confirm.
for the purpose of popularity.
Right.
And I have what, especially like Five Steez, like his evolution right now, like his latest album just came out called Love and Art
Right.
with Mordecai. And I can, from what I know, Five Steez as he's also one of the founding members of Manifesta Jamaica. So yeah,
He's been at it for a minute.
he's been at it for a minute, and like, you know, him almost have, to me, him and his immediate circle is almost like the grandfathers now of the rap game in Jamaica.
Jamaica. Wow.
You know? And
Young
they're
legends.
our age. Same way. You know what I mean? So
It amazes me sometimes again crossing that threshold. I'm like, where do I stand? Am I elders now? Am I?
Yeah.
It's still every time we talk about artists like that,
Yeah.
it puts me in that frame of mind. I'm like, which part me there? And I guess when I talk to my kid, she gonna toss me for the elders.
it's all relative.
Yeah.
It's all relative. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So and now from a music standpoint, when we talk about this music too, we talk about the artists that are at the top of the game. You know, the proteges, the chronics, and so forth, and many others. But sometimes I feel like people, based on the feedback I get, people think that there's only room for so many. But so many.
Yeah.
In other words, you'll see a bunch of talent, you know, awesome talent, but in that specific sphere of what we would deem commercial success, we see Chronics up there. We see Protege also, but it just seems like no matter how hard the others are coming and so forth, there's not enough room on that platform. How do you feel about that kind of frame of mind?
I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree with that. What I will say, I know from first-hand observation is those who are professional about the business of their music are rising to the top. So, for instance, even just take the North American context right now, right?
Right.
From my understanding, well, let me give you a little bit of background from my understanding again.
Right.
So, Bob Marley passed away just at the time when he was penetrating North America.
Right.
It was his mission, to my understanding,
Right.
to penetrate North America, and especially to reach to black people in North America.
Right.
All right, so him drop out now, right?
Yeah.
The North American reggae industry, let's just go that narrow.
Right.
The North American reggae industry is now, at this point, it is now heavily controlled by people who are not Jamaican.
Right.
Which is fine. We don't live here.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not our country. They
Right,
put it that
right.
way. So, yeah.
For them thing.
Also, I think a lot of people are not who are running the industry are not culturally attuned to the culture of reggae in general.
They just see the music.
They just know how to make money.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
Anyway.
They're good at it.
They're good at it.
Yeah.
All that aside, that's good too. Money need to generate. And they work with good artists.
Right.
Great. Some no. What I understand is there was a generation of reggae artists that came through and were very unprofessional.
Yeah. Still a suffer for that.
And so people don't want to hire Jamaican acts anymore.
Right.
They were very wary of that because they just come with a lot of behavior that was unprofessional. Fast forward to now, especially the reggae revival generation started to show people again that we know how to be professional.
Right.
So when you check the teams them, I always say this about Team Zinc, the Team Chronics, the Chronics music group.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Dutty Bookman, big shout out to Kiki and everyone else involved with that team. I'm very proud of them because they have shown how you can break barriers and stick to your plan. And I don't know the half of what they do, but it just look good.
Right. It's been executed.
Yeah. Protege team, same. And since I'm a part of his team too, in terms of I do tour management, so I'm privy to more information behind the scenes. Super professional. And how people react to us is what really made me start to see what I'm telling you now. Like, people react to me dealing with them and saying, wow, you guys are really on top of things and professional. We're not used to this. We're not used to this anymore. And that's why it's easy for us to go through the doors because the word spreads. At one promoter tell the next, book it,
easy
whatever.
to work with.
And I say, them youth, them professional, them come to rehearsal, sound check on time. There's no qualms, blah, blah. You know what I mean? We're not going to be no pushover and nobody not going to run over with still, but we're very courteous, same way, and professional. You know what I mean? These are the acts that I'm seeing when I look around and I see how all the teams are working behind these artists. And the artists are allowing their teams to do their job. Some artists don't do that.
That can be an issue too.
That can be an issue. Because we still, it's the artist's career, you know. So if the artist go on away and put an iron rule and don't know how to manage on top of it, then the thing going derail. and their career is going to be at stake.
Right.
So that's something we should tell all the artists them rising now, you know.
Yeah.
I even had a conversation. I said your reason with Jordan the other day.
Yeah.
And Jordan is a youth and his manager Francine.
Yeah, man.
I rate how I just see them coming through Florida and dealing with the thing because
Professional.
they are being professional. So them going to reach far.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
They're going to take it as far as willing, as far as it will go.
Yeah.
Those are the type of things. So
I love the way they handle the business.
yeah, that is how people get on the platform, Bridging. Right now, your talent takes you to a level, and then professionalism
Catalyst
is the extra push.
So there's room if you do it right.
Yeah.
Because it's you know, as I talk to people, it's kind of seems like there's a level of frustration too, even amongst. But you know, we're not trying to highlight things I want to know for sure. When you travel the world right now, right, and again you're out there with Protege, who right now is one of the biggest names in the business, bar none. We see reggae coming from all different parts of the globe, but overall, one of the biggest names out there. We refer to a lot of those names. We talk about Chronic, we talk about Kabaka and a lot of them people there. What do you see, not amongst them, but the world's perspective? You travel the world with them. How do you see the world embracing them and the reggae revival that we talk about today?
Well, let me just stick a little pin right there because I tour manage the US. So I don't do the entire world with them.
I gotcha.
There are different tour in our organizational structure. There are different tour managers for regions.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
wow.
I know some artists have them tour manager that do the entire world, but that's not our structure.
Wow!
And you have to consider things like language. Like I only talk English and Patois, my lad. So what I doing in France, talking to the you know what I mean? Like,
I dig it.
So yeah, things like that. But
that's a very smart approach, though, because some people don't think about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I kudos to his manager. His manager is his mom, Lorna Bennett,
Right.
And she runs a very good ship as far as I'm concerned. I'm happy to be a part of it, So
right.
I'm just glad that they find my services useful in North America,
Brother.
But from studying the reggae revival, I can answer this to an extent because I speak to people around the world about reggae revival and the reception to the artists. And what I'm finding, or what I have found from a long time ago, is especially in Europe and Western United States, West Coast, California, them place there, people are like really in tune to these artists.
Wow.
They believe in the movement. They understand the importance of the movement, even more so than people in Jamaica, I think.
Yeah. Do we take it for granted though? Because as I talk to people too, I also get it's almost like there's a feeling of I'm a birthright. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My birthright, so me do it better, even when you don't do it better. You know what I mean? Because you have that approach like that can't. I'm a Jamaican, you're not, so my thing must better.
Yeah.
When the truth is, when it comes to them speakers, it's not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There are some people who do it different,
Yeah.
There are some people who do it different, and even like. But the thing is, the fact still remains.
Yeah.
There's a tinge of truth to it, because anywhere in the world, when it comes on to reggae, people always want what's the next thing coming out of Jamaica. So if you have it, you have it. If you have the sound, you have the sound. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I dig it. And I always talk music because at the end of the day, the culture circles around the music itself. Sometimes the music to me is like the most popular branch of the culture.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? We have the music, we have the food, we have the sports, we have the whole nine. But it's really the music.
Yeah.
I carry the thing.
That's why even reggae revival fell into the trap of being zoned in on the music alone when it was a cultural arts-based movement,
Right.
Yeah, that's what it's just a fact of our existence. With music of everything, So
can't get away from it. Now, another question that comes up a lot sometimes when it comes to music is dancehall reggae, right?
Yeah.
As a fan of the music, do you separate them, dancehall reggae, or is just a Jamaican music?
If I'm honest, I'd separate it.
Yeah.
But I separate it based on energy and vibe. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's like separating although it is one, but separating my physical and spiritual self. Like when I want to engage my physical earthly self, I go touch a dance hall, I want to go to the street dance or whatever. I want to work up a sweat.
Yeah.
I
You need dance hall for that.
I used to feature a lot of, I used to go to a lot of the dance them, and if my vehicle now work, I used to walk, go a Bembe Thursday and them thing there. You know what I mean? Like I enjoy all the aspects of our culture. I just really have a strong preference for, because I'm a person who's on a spiritual journey.
Gotcha.
And I focus a lot on my spiritual journey. I find that reggae, roots, dub helps me more, and that's what I zone in on. So that's what I share more with people, because that's where, for lack of a better term, my expertise lies, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Dutty Bookman. Make sure to say whenever you see the name on the flyer, go and check him out, all right? We got so much more. You heard us talk about Jadan a minute ago. I'm going to give you a piece of his joints, all right? Keep it moving, keep it grooving. It is Homegrown.
It's Jadan. Jadan, representing for G-Fam. Hey, Aizen. Me I don't wanna feel you, them. Look and know. You say you're the future. I'm more life when a girl have a youth, yeah. Me see the hands, I follow good father. Way I take care them son and them daughter. You say you're the future. I'm more life when a girl have a youth, yeah. So boss a blank, feel the good father. Way I take care them son and them daughter. Youths, don't ill treat them. Why you mislead them? When them right, you fi show them when them wrong. You fi tell them. Set a foundation for the youth them stand. Live for them learn so the youth them turn. No say you can't fool them, so me I beg you, please cool them. Cause the youth they are the future. I'm more life when a girl have a youth, yeah. Me see the hands, I follow good father. Way I take care of them son and them daughter. Youth they are the future. I'm more life when a girl have a youth, yeah. So boss a blank, feel the good father. Way I take care of them son and them daughter.
Tony Noel, everybody that's joining the party right now, I appreciate y'all. EK, what you say? You love that tune and true. You want to hear some conga bonga? It's my joint too, all right? I'm not going to deny you. So I'm going to get a little piece before we get back into it.
You know, say the love for the Rasta youth have for your endless. Better never know. I look ya now, I look ya. Hey. You never know you woulda love the conga bongo. You never know you woulda love the 4i. From the day she link with Jadan, she says she love her Rastafari. You never know you woulda love the conga bongo. You never know you woulda love the 4i. From the day she link with Iman, she says she love her Rastafari. She tell me she like everything she see na Iman. She want every second out of me time, and she woulda give me anything, although she no mind man. And this price of me give her, she have a mind pan. So me take her to the river, dash her with the bad pan. Inna the hills, figure links, brain, bubble man. Him have the herbs and the wine for we meditation. Good loving, it's you and we hate pan. You never know you woulda love the conga bongo. You never know you woulda love the 4i.
Ladies and gentlemen, that one is Jadan. The song is called Conga Bonga EK. That one was a special request. That's your special request, all right? Hope you enjoyed. We're sitting down and we're having a nice like a reason right now with Mr. Dutty Bookman. I love having a convo because you're a gentleman. I feel like you have your finger on the pulse of the culture. You know what I mean? Not just from a musical style.
Heavy. That was a heavy statement there still.
It is, you know what I mean? We did the research. You do. You know what I mean? Google says so. Google never lies.
Let's say, I will say this for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe I did.
Yeah?
Yeah, I don't think, Bridget, my life just get really quiet now, you know, like I just, you know what I mean? Like,
if I can stir it back up.
Yeah, I mean, I getting back in a groove now, but I just, you know, I moved from DC, come Florida. Lot of life changes, you know, youths them start go school, the rhythm of that now. So, you know, I just kind of, and I'm committed to family. So I definitely, I could be more informed.
Right.
Put it that way.
It's amazing though. Again, we always talk about the whole from transition from youth to elders.
Yeah.
When you verbalize them kind of thing there, because many times I say stuff, and it takes me right back to a time when my mother or father probably was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes my daughter tells me, "So right." When I say certain things, she said to me, "Say, boy, there go my grandma," and I'm like, I just stop. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Let me tell you a joke. One time my youth said to me, the man say, I don't remember what he was talking about, but it's like he must say, so did that thing happen in the 1900s? And I say, bomb, for real, like.
Why? I'm checking driver's license.
Like the man I said, we're ancient to the man.
Yeah. You know, for
we
them
born in
bro,
the 1900s and then born in the 2000s.
Yeah.
Boy,
so we're vintage.
Yeah, trust me.
Dinosaurs, boy.
Yeah, man.
So the thing go. Now, you've published you've authored 2 books.
Yes.
The first one was Tried and True.
Mm-hmm.
Reflections of a Rebellious Youth.
Revelations of a rebellious.
It's Revelations?
Yeah, Revelations.
Give me a little insight in the book, because the title itself was intrigued me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that piece.
Yeah, it's just I was a rebellious youth. I just don't like a lot of things that happening in society around us, you know, and so it's hard for me to be quiet about things and to just let things slide, especially in those days, you know, when I was a rebellious youth.
Right.
You know?
I got you.
Now I'm more of a controlled flame, but them time there was a wildfire. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's just documented like those critical years when I left college, went back to Jamaica, and reacquainting myself with my culture properly, and observing everything around me, and all the energies around me, you know, and the people I met and stuff like that. So, that's really what that story is about.
And this was 2000, when did it come out? 11?
It came out 2011. It documents between 2006 to 2010.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And I always think about literature. Music, you can get away with it, because the thing about music and even film is a lot of time people chalk it up to the art and you just being creative.
Yeah.
When you put the time and effort to document it on paper, put it out in literary form, right?
It's not a,
It's a different thing. So if me writing a song, say, boy, I did that, then my thing say vibes on. But if I put it in a book that I did that, it's gospel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What was the feedback you got? Because there's no way for you to write a book about your times without somehow, some way encapsulating some other people in it. What was the feedback you got from those around you when you put the book out?
I think at first a lot of people were shocked, you know, especially the people. All right, so the people who I spoke about by name in the book, I made sure most, if not all of them, received the part that their name is called before.
Right.
So they know it's coming.
Right.
And I think at first people were just shocked, like the audacity of this guy, you know, like, who writes an autobiography and him don't even turn 30 years old yet. You know what I mean? Like,
right. What have you seen?
Yeah. So, but the feedback was just great afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, it touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
I would say there are certain books that I've read that you talk to people about it and you know you're a part of a cult.
Yeah.
Like it's a cult following.
Yeah.
I have a lot of books like that.
Yeah.
Big up to all the Celestine Prophecy. If you ever read that book, I highly recommend it. The Celestine Prophecy. But Tried and True morphed into something like that. The way people approach me is like, all right, we know that it's not a big bestseller in the world, but we really appreciate this, and like we tell people about it, and when somebody else read it, like we're glad to talk to them about it, and so it give me that same energy, you know.
Nice.
And even till today, there's always every now and again somebody that shows some love about that.
Nice. It people don't realize what it takes to put out a book, you know, because you're also conscious of everybody else's. Nobody goes through their experiences alone.
Yeah.
You know, it's very rare that me ride through the town and I'm me alone.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to put it in literary form, it's a book I have to pick up. I haven't had an opportunity to read it yet, but I definitely need to go. And it's on Amazon and all in places, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can find it easy.
Kindle form too?
It's on Kindle, yeah.
Mad.
Man.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tried and True. Revelations
of
a Rebellious Youth.
Yeah.
I love it.
Man.
Now, book number 2.
Fatidic. Yeah.
selected Duttyisms. Explain that one.
That one now was so when people read the Tried and True, they come to realize that I'm half a madman. You know? Put it that way. And
I haven't heard it put quite like that before.
yeah, because I was really going through a lot at the time. You know, there was
Right.
a lot of I was going through a very spiritual shift in my thinking. So it was just coming out very raw.
Right.
And it could read like this person mad. In fact, when I was going through it, I was like, am I going crazy right now? Like, please don't tell me I'm going to lose my mind. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I just honored the journey and I just kept going with what was happening. And I documented that. So when people read, they realize. And at the time, I was also blogging. During those 4 years that's documented, I was blogging very hard.
Right.
Or towards the end of it, I was blogging very hard. And one of the things that I took down a lot of my blog posts off my website. And one of the things that people was coming to me about was, where is the post? Like they read one and they wanted to go back to it and read it again and whatever. So
God.
I said, all right, and my website is called duttyism.com.
Right.
DUTTYISM.com.
Right.
Which again is like a next thing where, you know, maybe Rasta gonna say, oh, we're gonna deal with ism and schism. What kind of Rasta you this one? Anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I republished the old blog post in book form so people can pair it with the Tried and True. They kind of go together as a pair. Like, this is what I was writing when I was going through this in this other. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, it's just me being conscious about my history and like being proud of myself and who I am, no matter what ups and downs, and so that future generations, when they even study like reggae revival and whatever, right? And they happen to find out that the name of the person who coined the term, it's important. This is why I was very irked by the other person who never called my name.
Right.
And it irks me a lot because it's important to the connecting the dots of history for the future generations. Like anybody who leads something or does something significant to a movement, they have a story that causes them to do that. So you need to know individual people's backgrounds. I'm a big supporter of the individual story.
Right.
You know? So I put out my history because, you know, you never know. You can drop out anytime. You don't have to live till you're old. Any day. And so that's me securing that here I have told my story in this way. And whosoever will find it, will find it. Yeah.
So okay. So that means a lot of people who were trying to connect with those blog posts from before, then if them go find a book, then they'll be reconnected.
Right, exactly.
I dig it. Yeah. I always feel like many people approach things differently, right? Activism, one of them things. Based on things you've done, so forth, you'd probably be chalked up as being an activist. But in your eyes, what is activism?
Yeah, well, the root word is act. So
it's
more than you know, you have conceptualization, you have talking, you have discussion, but you have action.
Yeah.
Sometimes the line is blurred because sometimes talking is an act that is very significant and important, you know.
Right.
So it's just being focused on what you think your contribution is and doing that thing to the best of your ability, you know. That's what it is to me, really, activism.
So it doesn't matter what the cause is. It's how you go about it and how you set out to do it.
In a very basic, raw way, it don't matter what the cause is. Now, obviously, activism is usually associated with pushing forward lofty causes.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. So,
Gotcha.
you know, take it how you take it.
Gotcha. When it comes to, and I go back to reggae again, we talk about the culture. It's all about the culture, but reggae is in the driver's seat of our culture.
But reggae is a culture, you know.
Within itself. True.
Reggae is a culture.
True.
Yeah.
We kind of look at those people behind the microphone as the revolutionaries. It's always been that way from Peter Tosh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But your approach, your mindset, that whole thing to me, and even others like you, not just you, to me, I find to be a little bit more instrumental, especially when it comes to our upcomers right now, getting them not just to embrace and earn from reggae music, but to respect and nurture the culture. There's something I notice right now with the young upcomers, the Leila Ikes, the Coffees, the Savannahs, the Black Heroes, you know what I mean? The Coral Fires, that shows that it's not a hustler. We talk about the generation. There's a Bob Marley generation, then with a slight thing called like the Buju generation, Cape Town generation, and then the Sizzler them generation. You know what I'm saying? And then we are where we are right about now. I think there was a period of time when it almost came across as a hustle or as it's just about the music. But I kind of see right now with them youth there that there's an embracing of not just the music but the culture, and they seem to respect it and nurture the culture. Do you notice that?
Yeah, that's what we are about. That's what we're about as a movement, you know what I mean? Like, that's the... Okay. And when I say we, you know, I mean, this is the times that we're living in worldwide. It's not a Jamaican phenomenon. It's just that we, thankfully, we have savvy people, myself, others, who were able to push it in a way that it got big notice.
Right.
But it's a part of a global context where the youths of today, the generations of today, we're starting to see past the veil that is pulled before us. You get me? So, in whatever way. Remember, say, during the time of when reggae revival was building up, you know what was happening at the same time?
What's that?
The Arab Spring. So, politically, you had the young people who were attacking the politics of the Middle Eastern countries and the Arab countries, put it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that was a manifestation of the spirit of our time. We, as Jamaicans, we deal with culture. That is our specialty upon the earth.
Yeah. Culture footing.
No other country, let me say this, and I'm tired to say this, but no other country, G. Cole, have more culture per square mile impacting the earth.
I agree.
Right?
I agree.
Don't even talk to me about America. No United States.
Nah, not
per
culture.
square mile, we deal with culture. The US may have monopolized and kind of deal with global media away. But who penetrate that media the most is black people, and Jamaicans in particular have a special place among African diaspora in penetrating the global. So we need to have to set up the system because we will control the culture.
Them just know if we make money off it.
There you go. And that's one thing that we're learning more in this time, because we've seen a lot of our elders, which is a part of the bitterness. I would imagine they got a lot of bad deals. Some of them even homeless.
They were the mistakes that we learned from.
Yeah. But the thing is, they still need to appreciate the younger generations and just allow the progress to take place, and like just know we rate them and respect them same way.
Yeah.
But we have to learn and we have to move forward and we have to be confident in what we are bringing to. So, you know?
I love it.
Yeah.
And that rating and that respect has to be reciprocated. Here's no matter how it goes. Even the Bible say honor your mother and your father.
Yeah.
But it also say do not provoke your children to wrath. You know what I'm saying? So while you expect them to show the respect, reciprocate the respect.
Yeah, it's just about mutual respect at the end of the day. In anything, there's always, we live in a binary world, you know.
Yeah.
There's always two sides to a coin. There's always two sides to a story or an argument.
Yeah.
There's always two extremes of opinion, and we all fall within a scale of those extremes. It's either you say yes or you say no, or you say maybe but kind of no, maybe but kind of, you know what I mean? we still all have to deal with the thing.
True.
You know what I mean? So it's just respecting everybody's opinion. Like, we wouldn't be different human beings on the earth if we never have different opinions.
Right.
We'd just be robots. Do we want to be robots, or we want to live a human life? You know?
True.
Yeah.
I love that. I mentioned a little earlier the era situation. To me, I saw it and I considered it the era of like the era of Bob Marley. We had the era of Bob, which was to me almost the last time we saw an artist because he wasn't solo, fan the flames or be the flames, to be honest with you, that affected society as a whole, because they dealt with a lot of crazy political and social climate at the time, right? We've then seen, like I mentioned, and I categorize them musically because that's just what I do, the Buju Cape Town era, then what we call this, I'm gonna call it the Till Shiloh era, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you have the Sizzler Kalanji Fanta and the Highway era, I'm gonna call that the real thing era, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And now we're seeing the Proteges, the Chronics, the Jesse Royals, and I'm gonna call that the Matter Time era.
All right.
But I feel like this generation might be more impactful on the culture and on us being more introspective as people. What do you think it is about this crop, this generation, them youth here, that seems to be more effective than their predecessors, than their immediate
You're
predecessors?
talking about the matter of time youths, or
Yes.
you're talking the next?
No, man,
set?
the matter of
Oh.
time youths, yeah.
Repeat the question, the last part.
What makes them more, what do you think makes them more effective at driving this culture? And sometimes we drive the culture to the masses, that's commercialization. We get it out to the world for business purposes. But I'm talking about, I see them making it introspective, where people within themselves, within Jamaica, look on the culture differently, with a certain love and appreciation. And I feel like they are a little bit more impactful that way than their predecessors. What do you think is the difference?
I think it's a merger of at least two things that come to mind immediately. One being, we are just becoming more, like I said, we are the generation that looking at the world different now. We've gone through enough of the way the world has gone,
Right.
where people have to really reevaluate the world and their place in it. So the youths of today are wiser.
Right.
It's just a fact. And that's how it should be.
Right.
We get wiser and wiser, you know what I mean? Younger and younger too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
The second thing, when you talk about impact, that merged, that collided with the advent of social media, brethren. Like,
Information.
yeah, so if you can get, imagine if the real thing did come out when social media at its heights as it is now. Imagine how much more it would have shake up the earth than it did.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, say, the ones who shook up the earth from them time there, they carried such a great power that maybe even some of the youth them of today don't match up to that power, because they were able to do that without
the vehicles that we
certain
have.
vehicles and tools
Yeah.
that we have.
Yeah.
Not to compare and say,
Right.
soar, but me just say, look at it that way, you know what I mean? And now we have these tools and we're using them. And that's good. That's good. And it's just the passage of time. It's just the evolution of the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I heard some people talk the other day about a new genre being created.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When they talk about the coffees, and that's the way how artists do it. Do you see a new genre being created, or is pretty much just reggae?
I'm inclined to believe that. You know, I trust that, because like I said, even the person who I said them try erase me out of history.
Right.
That was one of the persons who I saw saying that. And I actually, everything that the person said in the interview, I trust it. I believe it. I think it's some good things that's being said. And we should listen.
Right.
Except the part where it erased me out of history.
I don't know who you are, but I like I'll burn you out here.
No, man, I'm not burn him. I'm not burn him. I'm not gonna burn him still.
The
But
flames expressed by G. Cole doesn't represent those of Dutty Bookman, but they come from me. All right.
But give thanks for making me a reason still, because I'm definitely in the mood to talk more again, you know?
Right,
like I said,
right.
I silenced myself for a
Yeah.
good while, but I'm in the mood this year. I will not be erased from history. Not Dutty Bookman the second. You get what I'm saying?
It shall not. We shall not have it.
No way.
The good thing pretty much is this, and the people with the knowledge that need to speak, and that's why I love have a conversation with somebody like yourself, because we always fall into the situation of, the people with nothing to say are the loudest. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And the people who have something to say are a little bit more subdued. Mm-hmm. You've got the music going on. Of course, where are you going to be next? Dropping some music, dropping some culture, dropping some reggae for the Massive and crew.
Oh, you mean like playing as a selector?
Yeah.
Let me see. I'm not really have nothing. Right now, my next move is I'm going to Jamaica.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend some time in Jamaica very soon.
Wow.
Yeah. I have some work to do, and it has to be done in Jamaica.
Some recharging of a bond.
Recharging is a part of it, but some work has to be done, and I can only get it done from Jamaica.
Mad.
So I'm going to get it done, and that's all I will say on that.
Mad.
So I don't have any gigs right now. If people approach me, I will definitely try fit it into my schedule, but right now I'm clearing this like another month of just nothing, so I can be present with myself only and do this work that I have to do.
Yeah.
And then summertime come and it's tour time, Protege in the US. So
Back at it.
Yeah, we'll be here Kaya Fest 420. You know what I mean? So That's my next thing as a tour manager. And then we go to California and then we start touring with Revolution.
Nice.
So that we have a good summer ahead of us going up until the end of August, early September.
So you will be busy. You do need the recharge then.
I definitely do need a recharge, yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, man.
Drop some social media info for the masses so them can keep up with you.
Well, the ones that I use the most right now is really just Instagram and Twitter. They're both the same, at Dutty Bookman. So DUTTYBOOKMAN. DUTTYBOOKMAN. And then, I do Sunday nights on 9 to 12 p.m. on local radio station. Don't know if you want me to call it.
No, man, drop it, man, drop it.
WZPP, WZOP. So in Broward, predominantly 92.7 FM. And in Miami-Dade or southern Broward, like the more south you go, 96.1, pick up better. So, 9 to 12 every Sunday, Bookman on the airwaves. Go right until midnight, and we like to say we'll reset the week and make it strong, Man. Yeah, man.
It's very necessary, very, very needed. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Dutty Bookman in the building. And a conversation that I think we should have a little bit more often, every now and then, pass through.
G. Cole, you're right up the street from my
Up the
yard,
street,
my lord.
brother.
May I come forward every time, man.
Real true.
Anytime.
One of them days, we got to put it, probably set up turntable right there so just get them something.
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. Of course, man.
Easy. Ladies and gentlemen, Dutty Bookman, again, make sure you go ahead and subscribe to his YouTube, Instagram. Like him. You have a YouTube channel, no?
Yeah.
But you're not messing with it too tough.
I just put some stuff on it, but I can't remember the username, I think it's just...
Dutty Bookman?
Yeah, try just Google Dutty Bookman and you'll find something, man.
It's one or the other, and you'll be able to see the difference in the pictures. I know him that. So...
Yo, you dig up an old picture for the promo for this thing,
Yep.
Yo.
Because remember I was saying, who is?
Yeah.
The original player I had, I had that, and then I had like 3 other ones, like in one another.
Like
and it was kind of like evolution
like
theory.
yeah.
And then I say, something, I think I'm being too dramatic with this.
Who is? What should I do it, man? I would have just come in and say, who am I?
See that?
Do you know?
Guess what? Part 2.
Eh?
We got to give him a second part.
Yeah.
And there you have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. It has indeed been a pleasure. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast, Homegrown with G. Cole, now available on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, TuneIn, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and all your podcast platforms. Please check out the website also, homegrownwithgcole.com, to listen and for all things homegrown. To watch the video of this interview, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Homegrown with G. Cole. Remember, be safe, be kind, and be good to each other. My name is G. Cole, and this is Homegrown.
Nakikinika sa música, Homegrown with G. Cole.
Estás escuchando Homegrown con G. Cole.
您现在正在收听的是 Homegrown with G. Cole.
You're listening to Homegrown with G. Cole.
Remember, all the music played here on the podcast Homegrown with G. Cole is available on iTunes, Spotify, and all your digital retailers. Please support the artists.